a loss. I don't trust you when you talk a lot. Acting like a zombie, copy how they talk. What's the drip? I don't think they drippin'. $1,000 jeans, tell me why they got the ribs then.
If school is causing you stress, don't worry, I got you covered. Today, I'm going to tell you how to deal with stress in school. Now, stress in school usually comes from one of two things. It is either social pressure, trying to fit in with those around you, or just simply trying to look cool, or it's academic pressure. Pressure that is self-imposed, that you put on yourself to perform well in your academics, or pressure that your parents put on you, or like those around you put on you to do well in your academics for something such as a post-secondary program, college or university. Today, I'm going to be talking about the latter, how to deal with academic stress. However, if you are dealing with social pressure in school, don't worry, I got you covered for that as well. Click this video right here, and I bet it can help you. Now, my first tip on how to deal with academic stress is to do a bit of work at the very least every single day, right? Like, even if you're ahead, you always want to remain at least ahead, or like at the very, very least, like on par, or with your workload. But the thing is that if you're behind, that's where the stress comes from. Because if it's academic stress, right, you want to get a good grade, and your good grade is in jeopardy, right? Your good grade is jeopardized when you're falling behind on your work. Therefore, doing a bit of work every day, even if it's just something like reviewing your notes, looking over one of your assignments, checking in with one of your partners to make sure that they know what to do with one of your projects. Like, let's say you guys are doing a group presentation in your class. You just talk to them, make sure they know their lines, like they know what they're talking about, that, you guys have all the information you need, stuff like that. As well, you will be far more productive spreading your time out, such as doing 2 hours of work every day of the week, right? So 2 hours over 7 days, 2 times 7 is 14, math class was stop, you feel me? But it's far better to do that than 7 hours over 2 days, because you're going to burn yourself out so much easier, which will cause yourself stress. And not only that, right, it won't just cause you stress in the moment, but it will also cause you stress later on, because you will be burnt out, have, very little energy to do work, which will cause you to fall behind even further, which will cause you to be more stressed, which will cause you to fall behind even further, and so on and so forth. Additionally, just do schoolwork at school. Like, I know it sounds very obvious, because school is for schoolwork, but what I mean is, don't be on your phone, don't play like Clash Royale, or Plants vs Zombies, or Angry Birds, or whatever you're playing, or don't be on TikTok or Instagram or anything, because you're only going to eat up your time, which will cause you stress later on. The best thing to do is you want to get your work done early, which will cause you less stress going forward. And it's also good to get as much work done within school, because you can ask teachers questions if you are confused with the material, which leads me to my next point. Always ask teachers any questions that you feel like could be beneficial to your understanding of the material that you need to memorize. So if you're unable to talk to your teacher during class, maybe schedule an appointment with them after school. Email them. Just do whatever you can to get that question answered. And for some reason, if you can't talk to your teacher, look it up on Google and make sure you can talk to them as soon as possible. If you can't talk to them the next day because they're busy, then you can still like shoot them an email, but then you can look it up on Google and try to do it yourself. Maybe you can ask a friend that's super good at that subject. Things like that. If you are afraid of asking questions in class because you feel like you'll be judged by those around you, just know that you're in the same position as them, in the sense that you're all in a class and you're trying to understand the material that the teacher's trying to convey, right? So ultimately, even if you feel like you will be embarrassed by them, don't feel that way, right? Just, even if you're scared, just go for it, because you'll find that you'll be less scared over time. The more you expose yourself to it, you'll gain more confidence speaking, right? And that's the case with anything. You'll gain more confidence in something the more that you do it. And the same thing applies with speaking, with social circumstances. As well, asking teachers questions, it tells them that you want to know more about the subject, right? So it shows engagement and it furthers your understanding. But about that showing engagement piece, they will be more willing to help you later on, or they'll be more likely to, because they sense that you're engaged in their class, that you want to know the stuff, that you take it seriously. Therefore, let's say if you had to, miss school for some days because you were sick, right? Like you were ill, like your teachers might be more willing to accommodate for that by pushing the test to another day. Or if you have an assignment, pushing the assignment due date to another day. Things like that, teachers might be more willing to do because they know you take the class seriously. Rather than if you were just, goofing off in their class and doing nothing, and it looked to them that you didn't care about the material that they were trying to convey to you. And because you do more within the school setting, it allows you to have more free time later on, which is the point of this video. It will reduce your stress levels. Now, my third and final tip to reducing stress related to school is to always try your best to get a good grade. Now, though this may sound counterintuitive, right? Like, if you do your best, you can't do better than your best, right? I sometimes hear people say give 110%, and I know it's hyperbole, but you can't, it's impossible to give 110%. The max you can give is 100. You can't do 100.01. You can't even do that. So if you give 100% of what you can do, if you try your best to get a good grade, that's all you can do. And if your parents are putting pressure on you, they're like, oh, come on, I know you can do better. Like, why are you doing this? You're such a disappointment, or whatever they may say. Don't listen to them, because a grade doesn't define you. A grade on a paper doesn't define you. Even if you want to get good grades, even if you're a good student, a grade on a paper doesn't say who you are, not at all, right? And the thing is that people can excel in different skills other than just academics. But if your parents are putting pressure on you, or if you're putting pressure on yourself, getting good grades will alleviate some of that stress, because what matters is that you put the effort in. What matters is that you tried your best to get the result that you desired. And ultimately, that's what matters with school. It helps you build a better work ethic too. It's not just about understanding the material, memorizing the material. It's about how hard you try and, what you develop from it. If you felt like you left anything on the table, that you felt like you didn't try your best and that you could have gotten a better grade, that I find will eat away at you more than not getting a good grade itself. I know from experience, like if I don't try my hardest on a quiz, like I feel bad, not because of the mark. I don't really care about the mark, but it's like I want to know that I did my best, because I'm spending 6.5 hours every day, with the exception on Friday. It's a half of a day, right? But I'm spending that amount of time every day to do work. Like I might as well try to get a good grade. But what matters is that you're trying to get a good grade, right? The grade in and of itself doesn't matter. So take the grade out of the equation and then just do the best that you can. And then ultimately, when it's all said and done, you know that you couldn't have done better than your best and that you didn't leave anything on the table, which will therefore alleviate your stress. All right, to conclude, even though academic success is necessary for professions such as being a doctor or a lawyer, just know that no matter what grade you have, a mark on a paper doesn't define you. And that's kind of like another tip. Just don't take it personally when you don't get a good grade, especially if you try hard on it, because it doesn't define you. Now, what it could tell you is that you need to try harder in your academics to get, the result that you desired. But, ultimately, you know what you're capable of. And good grades are always within reach, regardless of how intelligent you are. So just give things your best effort, advocate for yourself, as teachers always say. And, then you couldn't do more than that. You can't do more than that. And then your stress will be at least very reduced, if not completely reduced, or reduced significantly, excuse me. All right, guys, I love you all. This is a bit of a longer video, but I just wanted to get everything out there. I know a lot of you guys are in high school or college, university, or planning to go there. You know, depends on what you want to do later in life too, like what grades you need. But I hope this video helped. I love you all. Never forget that. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay awesome. We evolve together, you know. Keep working towards your goals, man. Keep working towards your goals. Be a better you today than you were yesterday. And yeah, please check out some of my other videos. The card should be up here now. And yeah, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and peace.